there's a lot of Christian artists who are the most unashamed artists on their platform who don't know God. That's sobering, hard to hear. Some people's icons might not know God.
Okay, you got that's a very controversial thing you just said.
That's right.
You got to unpack that.
I just want to put that out there. I know it's controversial, but what I'm getting at is, man,
Ruslan.
is that there's a lot of Christian artists who are the most unashamed artists on their platform who don't know God. So that's sobering, hard to hear. Some people's icons might not know God.
Okay, you got that's a very controversial thing you just said.
That's right.
You got to unpack that. You're saying there are Christian artists right now that people know,
Yes.
that have massive influence in the Christian world, and you're saying that they from
There
your
might
vantage
be
point,
some that don't know him.
That don't
I'm
know-
not saying I'm out here knowing him personally.
Yeah.
If you read the word, the top religious leaders were in full rebellion to God and actually the way their hearts were. And they were in full rebellion to their own Savior who looked them in their eyes and they rejected him. I think the same thing takes place in Christian music all the time. And so I just want to put that out there. I know it's controversial, but what I'm getting at is, man, I want to be able to make sure that I'm viewing this from a heart level, not a perception level. Lord, didn't I sing hit platinum records in your name?
Yeah.
Depart from me.
Yeah.
I never knew you. That's what I'm getting at. It's hard to say, but the reality is that we have to we have to know him.
Yeah.
We have to walk with him.
Yeah.
And I'm not out here putting accusations on artists. I'm
no,
getting
no.
at the idea that, hey,
Yeah.
if it's possible for a pastor, if it's possible for the Pharisees, it's possible for Christian artists. Don't get it twisted. You know, I think a lot of fans are aware of that. You meet people that actually come to your shows and go, hey, I just wanted to meet you, so I made sure what my prerequisition of you is the same. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think that's.
So I hope you hear my heart on that. I'm not coming at your favorite Christian artists. Like, for example, I went on
I
tour.
like how you cleaned that up. That was
I went
real
on
smooth.
tour with Brandon Lake and Phil Wickham.
Yeah.
Loved the Lord.
those guys are
Inspired the heck out of me.
Yeah.
They're the real deal.
Yeah.
They actually made me go, dang, CCM World got some really Jesus-loving dudes.
Phil is local to here. I know Phil.
Amazing
He's a good
guy.
dude. He's a
So that's
great
what I'm
guy.
getting at is I'm not throwing any like, oh, what
Yeah.
about this person? Not to create speculation, but to create the realization
Yes.
that it could be happening.
Yes.
And so,
Yeah. And ultimately, this is what I think. I think how Christian artists can serve themselves to make sure that they aren't conflating that is in having long form conversations like this. Because even though your music can give you doses of who you are, there's nothing like sitting down and hearing Hulvey for an hour share his heart.
you're going to hear the raw truth. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to be perfect, but bro, I love the Lord and I think without talking about it, all you're hearing is some singing. You know what I mean? Had plenty of moments where I was singing at church, you're singing worship songs, you go home and you're dry. So yeah, I think it's very important to hear from the artist.
Yeah.
I think media is huge. But I'm about to go on George Janko. I'm about to share my heart on there.
Let's go. That's
These
the homie.
things are needed.
Yeah.
Like what y'all do is needed, bro,
Yeah.
and it's appreciated on our side.
Yeah.
I feel like I want people to know my heart more. I haven't done a lot of interviews recently, and it's time. So
Yeah. I love that. What are you most excited about next?
yeah, I mean, I think tides are turning in my career where I'm becoming more just a little, not self-sufficient, what I'm getting at is a little more, I'm trying to find the right word, not even independent, but I'm able to make some of my own decisions a little more. I don't lean on as much advice. It's more channeled, where I'm leaning on channeled wisdom with a team I trust, and we're making decisions versus it being like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Now I feel like I'm getting in a spot where it's like I'm ready to just run with the Lord and make records and drop. Like that's where I'm at. Touring has changed a lot of my mindset on that because I had to become kind of independent in my touring. Like no one owns my touring, I do. So I've had to learn how to run a whole entire company, business, ministry with me and my wife and my team. You know what I mean? So it taught me how to make my own decisions. So now going into it, it's like now what I more so need is when I'm working with the label, for example, it's like I can just make the music I love. Me and Ace can cook, and then, you know, they can help me resource it, but I'm locked in on my mission. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. I don't need people to tell me who I am. The Lord tells me who I am, and I go from that place, you know?
I love that.
Still need wisdom, but I'm saying keeping it more channeled. And I think what's next for me is people seeing a consistent stream of music and possibly me stepping out to have fun in the way I express my faith sonically, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. I think I think you articulate your faith very well.
Thanks,
So
man.
I can see you sharing your testimony more. I can see you teaching more. I can see you sharing and using that aspect of you as well.
Yeah.
Because I love that, like, because you're 26 now.
Mhm.
Yeah, like this is the season where you're being refined into things you're really good at, but then like other parts of your brain start opening up. So you're talking about entrepreneurship and business and
Yeah, bro.
and the tension of that with ministry, because at the end of the day, you do want to minister.
I had no
to people.
clue. I
Yeah.
said, "Oh man, like
Yeah.
you got to pay taxes on this stuff.
Yeah,
You gotta record deals have contracts.
Yep.
And that you learn
Deadlines. Yeah.
turn-in dates. People are counting on you, even though they're believers. There's for-profit companies
Yes.
that make for-profit decisions, and
Yep.
you have to understand your place in that. That's hard.
Is that hard to navigate in terms of the ministry versus business
It's
side?
been my biggest grief.
Tell me
of my career.
Tell me why.
It's been harder for me than OCD, Ruslan.
Hmm.
Because sometimes I can be emotionally led, and my feelings can get hurt in the business, bro. It's hard for me to. I'm somebody who tries to fight for fairness, bro. And so moments where I'm in the business, I'm like, man, I want this to be fair, and it doesn't feel that way. It's hard, bro. And I have to remember that capitalism and for-profit business just works a little different than my expectations, and it's not fair for me to look at somebody's heart as rotten because they have a different vantage point as me in business. It's hard, and it's grieved me because I'm having to continue to work on my perspective.
How are you working on your perspective? Like, unpack that for me.
Bro, I'm asking tons of questions. I'm talking to my wife all the time. Like, hey, check me here. Like, tell me right now, am I tripping? I'm having tons of talks with people I would trust, like talking with Lecrae, understanding things, giving me wisdom. You know what I mean? Like I said, bro, I mean, I'm running a whole touring thing. I get to see how the venues work and the way business works on the back end. All of that. And I'm learning, like, you know, I just can't control what other people are going to do, bro. And I think that's the wisdom I've been starting to get, is that I have to focus on what the Lord's doing in my heart. The moment I start getting in this spot of like, nah, but it's not being done for me. It's not being done for me. This isn't fair. This is hard. This isn't right. This should be right for me. Even though those things could be true, Jesus is like, yo, man, like, give your shirt and your jacket. You know what I mean? Like, be willing to just trust me to be your sustenance. And I think that's where I'm just having to kind of, I'm waking up to that, bro. I'm 26, so it's been like I got into this very young, 20 years old. So it's like, I think it's a normal music industry revelation of, oh, okay, it's the industry.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Well, listen.
But there's good-hearted people in it, I want to say.
For sure.
And that's what makes me
sure.
thankful, you know?
I think, listen, I'll say this. I think we create false binaries sometimes. I think anyone that's running a ministry still has to file taxes. You still got to have your meetings. You still got to do the legal requirements of running a nonprofit. And any Christian running a business should still minister and should still look for opportunities to be a blessing, even when it doesn't make sense on paper. Like, I think that's very common sense, but I think we draw these false binaries and we create this tension that's oftentimes unnecessary, you know? And so I think of my buddy, like my buddy's an operator of a Chick-fil-A. They're always going out of their way to bless their staff, bless people in the community, bless people that can't afford food. And that's by design. Yet at the end of the day, like, if they don't sell them chicken sandwiches, like,
They're down.
bills ain't getting paid. Like, your kids don't eat, right? And so I think there's this binary that, like, if you do business, you can't be a good Christian, or if you're a Christian, you can't have clean business and take care of stuff. And it's like, I think it's and both. Like, I think you got to be on it. Like, there has to be diligence.
To me, business is never just business. To me.
Yeah.
I'm with you, because I think who you are should overflow into these things. I've actually been reading in Matthew 16. Jesus literally says, here's the lesson. Use your worldly resources to benefit others and make friends.
That's right. Yeah.
So shrewdness is okay. Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Shrewdness is okay.
Yeah.
But use it for the right reasons.
That's right. Why wait until this entire thing premieres on YouTube? Why not sign up for a free 7-day trial of our Patreon community and see this entire interview, as well as all of our interviews, early before they hit the public. And you'll also get access to the extended version of our conversations that are sometimes a little too spicy for YouTube. All right, so head on over to Patreon. Link is in the description or pinned comment. Here's a little preview of what's available on Patreon.
Here's my plain heart on the Sierra situation. It hasn't changed too much.
God told me just to do this ministry thing.
God told me I'm gonna blow up.
God told me I'm gonna blow up. God told me to start a YouTube. God told me to start a podcast. So I'm quitting my job and I'm doing it. And that's not how it's worked for anybody.
No, I was broke. I got into this very young, 20 years old. So it's like, I think it's a normal music industry revelation of, oh, okay, it's the industry. Went on a mission trip to Memphis, Tennessee. And on that trip, I saw a man with 6 infused vertebrae in his back on the first day of the trip.
You were a Christian, but you're listening to Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would wrestle with that.
Yeah.
Help me understand how you navigated that.
Ruslan.